This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Bienvenidos a Panama, a place where worlds meet, a bridge between seas, bringing people, nations, and countries together. A land and its culture, rich and diverse. Home to a modern marvel, a symbol of progress and integration that changed the world forever. Panama, the road to an unforgettable holiday, or the path to a new life. The way to the future, day by day. Panama is the way. Start the adventure of a lifetime in the buzzing metropolis, Panama City. A unique destination filled with contrast and diversity. A city driven by interconnectivity, home to the largest international airport in Central America and the Panama Canal. One of humanity's greatest engineering accomplishments, now celebrating its 100th year, the canal is undergoing unprecedented expansion and will continue to drive the economy forward. Panama City is dynamic, diverse, urban, progressive, and timeless. Panama City is the way. Panama is a hidden treasure and one of the world's best kept secrets. Still not overexploited by tourism and incredibly biodiverse, the country is home to 4 breathtaking archipelagos, mystical mountain highlands, and vibrant tropical rainforests.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Global Village. I'm Buddy Kunanan. Now, you know, folks, in this program, we take you around the world and you meet interesting people, visit amazing places. We also talk about topics and issues that impact the global community. Now, folks, tonight we're going to talk about a beautiful country in Central America called Panama. It's bordered by Costa Rica and Colombia. And tonight is a very special show because we're actually celebrating a very important, very auspicious date today, October 3rd, right here in Global Village. And to make this program even more special, we have a guest here, very high-ranking guest for the Panamanian government, none other than the Ambassador of Panama to the Philippines, His Excellency Rolando Guevara. Ambassador Guevara, welcome to Global Village.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kunanian. Thank you very much for the opportunity of having us here in order to discuss a little bit of my country and get to know a little of Panama. It's a very vibrant but very small country.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you here, Ambassador, because you know, Panama is such an interesting country, and although it's small, it has a big impact really on the global stage in many ways. And tonight, very auspicious occasion, we'll talk about it in a while. But before we jump into that, let's talk about you, Ambassador. Who is Ambassador Rolando Guevara?
Well, that's an interesting question. Rolando Guevara, it's ambassador now that having 57 years. I'm just giving him, I'm not afraid to say my age. I'm married, have 2 kids, 18 and 13 years old. I've been studied, become first as a lawyer, and I studied in Panama, first law, and then I did some master's degree in Tulane University in Louisiana, United States of America.
Okay.
I'm also applied, also I can work, pass the state of the Bar of Louisiana, so I'm also there. And I really incurred in the diplomat area due to my late stages of living in New Orleans when I was doing my master's degree. I have a master's degree in comparative law and also in maritime law. That's one of the reasons I think I'm here. I was invited when I was a graduate student to take part in the Consulate of Panama to serve first as a translator, and also when these diplomatic missions or commercial missions just to go to New Orleans, I will help the consulate and embassy to in the road facilitating and translating. And that's when I started the curiosity is how the embassies and how the consulate is starting to work. And from now on, then when I just became a practitioner lawyer, I just started working in everything that has to do with the international area, international business, arbitration, corporate law, everything that has to do internationally. And I also did a lot of maritime law when I was in the law firm.
Excellent. Prior to being assigned in the Philippines, where were you posted?
Okay, I was posted before as a Panamanian ambassador to European Union, and I also spent some years as an ambassador from Belgium, in the Netherlands, and also the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. And now I am a current ambassador of Panama to the Philippines and to the Brunei, the state of Brunei.
Yes, very interesting, Ambassador. This is actually your first posting in Asia, and very glad that it's here in Manila, in the Philippines.
Yes, indeed. This is my first post in Asia, and I really feel comfortable here in the Philippines because it's like big in Panama, just in a larger scale.
Is there what similarities do you observe or do you sense here between the Philippines and Panama?
Well, I can say there's a lot of similarities. Every time I have the opportunity to speak about Panama and the relations with the Philippines, I call it that there is like a twin connection. I mean a twin connection because we are countries that first of all are almost in the same equator, but just in the opposite sides of the world. We have the same weather, we have more or less the same heritage, culture, and basically there's something important. We share common ties and history, like we were also under the Spanish ruling for almost 300 years.
Just like us.
Same as the
Yes.
Philippines, of course. And we have a lot of Spanish tradition, as all Latin American countries. And but there is one thing that really make us different, I think, from the rest of the countries in Latin America with the Philippines. That also, as the Philippines, we have been with the influence of the American military bases for many years in Panama until the canal was turned over to Panama back in 1999.
Yes.
Same as you have here, the bases in Subic or other places, we also have a base, no longer, but we had it too. So it also impacted also in our culture and trade and things. The American influence also have that kind of connection. And I would also say that Panamanians or Filipinos, I think, we live our life with passion. We are hard workers. As in the Philippines, we work hard, but also we like to enjoy, to have time with family, time with friends, time to outing. Panama family, it's as same as the Philippines,
Yes.
is of great importance.
Yes.
So I think we share those same values.
And I guess because of our common history under the Spanish and the Americans, we're also very Western, I guess, very open to foreigners, to very accepting peoples as well. And this is what I take from my Panamanian friends. They're very easygoing, easy to get along with.
Same as the Philippines in that, because basically we have been a country that has been of transit since the inception of Panama was a country of transit. So we are accustomed and well to accept and visit tourists.
Bravo.
And expats from all over the world. But it's also something that I have noticed in the Philippines has really impacted me in the positive sense. I mirror the Philippines as Panamanians. It's one of the things that if I always say it, and I will reiterate it in time that I can, I think that the best asset that this country has is really its people.
Yeah.
They are so warm, they are very sincere, they are really facilitating, something that make you feel like you're in home.
Well, Ambassador, I'm so glad that even though you're thousands of kilometers away from Panama, that you feel very at home here in the Philippines. And as a Filipino, I'm happy that we have extended this hospitality, that you feel like you're one of us and feel very much at home here in Manila.
It's true. It's true that the slogan that there is more fun in the Philippines. You work, but also you have fun in the Philippines.
Bravo.
Yes, indeed.
Ambassador, let's talk about your country quickly. It's not a big country. It's 75,000 square kilometers. And to give Filipino viewers idea about what 75,000 square kilometers is, it's about maybe, I would reckon, maybe 2/3 the size of Mindanao.
Yeah.
But you have a very small population also.
4 million
Yes.
population, more or less. 4 million.
And when you say Panama, what people around the world, even the Philippines, the first thing that comes to mind is the Panama Canal,
Yes, indeed.
which is, I think, one of the defining characteristic of the country.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the canal.
Okay, Panama is really a country of maritime nature. When you say Panama, we'll refer to Panama Canal. Yes, it did. I think one of my most important sectors is really the Panama Canal. And the Panama Canal was built since 1914. And since then, it has been opened to helping the shipping and international trade as a way of transit, communicating continents and everything. And there has been started the construction by the French at the beginning, and it ended up by the Americans who finished the canal, and it was inaugurated in 1914. And also, I'm glad to say that last year, we have the inauguration of the expanded Panama Canal. It was by June 30th, when it took us almost 7 years to finish, but we practically built a new canal, new set of
Wow,
locks.
okay.
And now the Panama Canal is able to accommodate the largest vessels already in the market in the world, but passing through Panama already. So we are having the old canal and the new Panama Canal, a new set of locks actually working. And for us, it's a real surprise. We have lines of vessels trying to, and it shapes really the economy in the region by having this canal.
And it's the link really between the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean.
course,
Without
of
it, then
course.
you would have to go all the way down to Argentina.
Either you
around-
pass the canal or you go all the way down to Cape Hope or down.
Yes,
That's-
so-
when the ship pays this kind of tolls, I think, well, it's a high toll, but I think it's, in shipping business, I think it's worth it really. Time is of essence.
Yes.
And if they are willing to pass through the canal, it takes like 8 hours to do the road instead of doing that. So I'll take it as an important.
You know, Ambassador, I want to give viewers now an idea about what the Panama Canal is like and how it works. And actually, we have a very nice video, and it'll show the viewers really how is it that ships can pass through your country and come from the Atlantic and make it away to the Pacific and vice versa. So
Correct.
Let's play the video.
The process of transiting the Panama Canal is very similar for every vessel, from a sailboat to an enormous cruise ship. Each vessel accesses the locks through their gates to reach a height of 26 meters above sea level. A control house operator closes the gates to the locks and then opens the valves that control the water flow. It takes 8 minutes to fill the chamber to elevate the ship, which is kept in the center of its transit by locomotives. This operation is almost exactly the same at the 3 sets of locks in the Panama Canal. It takes between 8 and 10 hours to transit the Panama Canal from ocean to ocean. More than 10 million ships have done it since its opening.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's the Panama Canal in action. Now, Ambassador, very impressive video. And when you think about the scale of what it took to create this canal over 100 years ago, you have to take your hats off to the people behind this engineering. It really was, at the time, in the end of the day, an engineering marvel.
It was a piece of master of engineering, of course. It took by that time, just to practically cut the country in two, just to pass one canal another one. And by that time, they were looking for a place to really open around the canal. And there was Nicaragua, was also one country was named to be having the canal, and Panama. I think one of the main reasons that really made it for Panama, because we have one of the narrowest geographical
Yes.
points in the area. We are in the middle of both South America and North America. And also, Panama, thanks to God, we have really not too subject to many earthquakes or telluric movements. That's something important that at the last minute, I think they balanced to build the canal in Panama. So, and since then, we have been operating, and it's a very important important section of Panama because Panama's canal has always been run professionally.
Yes.
One thing that all Panamanians have in common, that is, you don't make the Panama Canal in politics. You don't, Panama is run professionally as a state. And every person that works on the canal is due to on merits. So for very highly people working, well-trained, it's to working 24/7.
I can imagine.
And then that's really one of our main proud.
That's probably one of the major sea arteries or sea lanes vital to global trade. If you think about Atlantic and Pacific, you can think about the amount of volume, the volume of shipping that goes through the Panama Canal must be staggering.
Yeah, and also that helps to Panama to their policy of becoming a hub for communication, for shipment in the area. We are seeing like a hub also because we are geographically very well located between the two oceans and between two North America and South America.
You know, Ambassador, Panama is actually one of the stellar performers, like it's called, in South America, Latin America. You're second most competitive after Chile, I think, and your economy's been growing very well in the double digits in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of the success of Panama boils down to this, really. This is what you told me. It's a transshipment point, very competitive, very world-class service, very world-class human resource. And what's in store for Panama after this? What do you guys have planned?
We are, besides that, Panama has the second largest free zone after Hong Kong. It is in Panama as well. It's one of the pillars of the economies. Also, Panama is a country of services. It's not really a country of money exporters, a country of services. But also we have a very sophisticated banking platform and financial center in the region. So if you combine those with the canals and the hub, we are becoming more and more a logistics center for the ports, for transshipment, for communication. So Panama is seen, it's seen like a country that facilitates that. And also, not only in the aspects of economy, also in the part of politics and diplomats. Panama has seen a country that would like to really plays a role within the region to facilitate dialogue, to encourage dialogue, peace, and rule of law. So we have been our policy as a country itself.
Yes, and I think it's very appropriate because you do serve as a bridge between two oceans, and as I said, it's a hub, it's a transshipment point, it's a place where people meet and where people pass through, and I think that's reflected really in the Panamanian character. As you said, like Filipinos, we've been influenced by the realities that our history have bequeathed us. The same thing with Panama.
Yes, indeed.
And quickly before we end our first segment, these places now that were once part of the zone, that were once occupied by the U.S. Prior to 1999, have you converted this now into some sort of economic zones?
Yeah, economic zones. There are universities, residences, multinational investment zones. So they are really restored, and Panama has worked on that zones, and they are become part of the nation and integrated as well.
Very good, very good. Ambassador, we've come to the end of the first segment, but when we come back, we'll talk about Philippine-Panama relations and also talk about the very auspicious 100th anniversary of Panama Ship Registry.
Okay.
So guys, stick around because more of Philippines-Panama relations when Global Village returns.